In a small village in Africa, there lived a young girl named Mercy. She was known for her graceful dancing, and everyone in the village admired the way she moved. Mercy loved to dance. It was her escape, her freedom. But her life was not easy. Mercy's family was poor, struggling to afford even the basic necessities. Her father worked long hours in the fields, and her mother sewed clothes to earn a little extra income. Yet despite their hard work, their poverty persisted, casting a shadow over Mercy's dreams. Despite their hardships, Mercy's family loved her deeply, and they took pride in her joy and her talents. Her parents wanted a better life for her, one where she wouldn't have to work so hard just to survive. But dreams and talent alone weren't enough to change their reality, and the weight of this truth became harder to ignore each day. One day, the village elder visited their humble home with news that left Mercy's family shocked and uncertain. The wealthiest man in the village, an older white man named Mr. Grant, had taken an interest in Mercy. Mr. Grant was known for his wealth and influence, and many respected him for his generosity and power. He had decided that he wanted Mercy to be his bride, offering her family a future of financial security and stability that they had never known. For a family like Mercy's, this proposal was a rare opportunity. Mr. Grant's wealth could change everything for them. No more hunger, no more struggle. They could finally have the resources to lift themselves out of poverty. Mercy's father sat her down to explain the situation, trying to gently convey the hope this marriage could bring. But for Mercy, the thought of marrying a man she did not love, a man old enough to be her father, filled her with sadness. Her heart was already spoken for, and it belonged to someone who had neither wealth nor power. Mercy was in love with a young man named Kofi, a boy from the village who understood her dreams and shared her love for dance and laughter. Kofi, like Mercy, came from a poor family, but he was full of life and had big dreams. He adored Mercy's spirit, her joy, and her light-hearted laughter. They spent countless hours together, talking about the future, sharing their dreams, and building hopes for a life they might one day share. Kofi's heart was set on building a life with her, no matter the obstacles, and he didn't care that he was poor. To him, Mercy was his everything. When Mercy told Kofi about her family's expectation for her to marry Mr. Grant, he was devastated. He tried to reassure her, holding her hands and promising that, despite their poverty, they could still find happiness together. But deep down, they both knew that their love faced an impossible challenge. Mercy's family was relying on her, and the weight of their hopes and expectations hung heavily over her. As days passed, the pressure grew. The village whispered about Mercy's situation, and everyone seemed to have an opinion. Some people envied her for the fortune her marriage would bring, while others pitied her for the choice she faced. But behind the gossip and the judgment, there was one undeniable truth: Mercy's family needed her to go through with the marriage. Her father reminded her of the sacrifices they had made, of the many times they had gone without to provide for her and her siblings. In his eyes, marrying Mr. Grant was the path that would bring them security and dignity. The day of the wedding came faster than Mercy had expected, and her heart felt like it was being torn in two. As she prepared for the ceremony, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was about to lose a part of herself. She had dreamed of dancing, of creating a life filled with love and joy, but instead she was walking into a future where her dreams were left behind. When she looked at herself in the mirror, dressed in traditional bridal attire, she saw a stranger staring back at her. The young girl who loved to dance was fading away, replaced by someone carrying the weight of others' expectations. Kofi watched the ceremony from a distance, his heart breaking as he saw the girl he loved pledging her life to another. He could do nothing but watch as his dreams slipped away. There was no way for him to change her fate, no power or wealth that could free her from the choices others had made for her. It was a sacrifice made in silence, a love lost to the demands of survival. As Mercy stood beside Mr. Grant, surrounded by her family and the village, her heart felt heavy. Her future was one of comfort and security, but it came at the cost of her spirit, her dreams, and her happiness. In the days that followed, she adjusted to her new life, living in a large, beautiful house, dressed in fine clothing, and surrounded by the luxuries she had never known. Her family was no longer poor, her siblings could go to school, and her parents finally knew the peace of a full meal and a secure future. But for Mercy, each day felt like a reminder of the life she had sacrificed. Years passed, and Mercy grew accustomed to the life of wealth and comfort, but her heart remained bound by the memories of her past. In the quiet moments, she would think of Kofi, of the days when she could dance freely and laugh without care. She would stare at her reflection, wondering if the girl she once was would recognize the woman she had become. Her wealth had brought her family stability, but it had cost her the dreams that had once filled her with so much joy. Now, as she watched children dancing and laughing in the village, Mercy felt a bittersweet smile form on her face. She saw her younger self in them, filled with hope and untouched by the harshness of reality. She wondered if the price she had paid was worth it, if sacrificing her happiness for the sake of her family was the only path she could have taken. Mercy's story became one that the village would remember, a tale of love, sacrifice, and the heavy burden of choices forced by circumstance. Some sacrifices bring us closer to our dreams, while others take them away. Mercy's life is a reminder that not every choice is a clear path to happiness, and sometimes the ones we love most are the ones we sacrifice our dreams for.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next video.